frankly, when Senator said, I'll go back happy, Senator, I won't go back happy. I know it's prayer to God. And when comment was being made, I said, we're happy. Nobody will have visited Bayelsa like I've done this morning that will be happy. If you're happy, you're an animal. There's no way. What I saw today, Your Excellency, my appeal, which I will be more vocal about, is for the federal government of Nigeria to send, if the president or the vice president cannot visit Bayelsa, they must send a very strong team to come and see what is happening here. I took time while I was coming. When the pilot said, we are not in Yenagoa, and I asked him, so where is the land? We took time to go around. I was involved in flooding in 2012. I was governor. I've never seen what I saw in Bayelsa. This is the top place I'm visiting. And I can say, federal government of Nigeria needs to declare emergency using Bayelsa as a case in point, considering the strategic importance of Bayelsa to Nigeria. There's no way what is happening here, a state can cope with it. I've seen your governor go to visit one or two places, but he was even, thank you very much for even remaining strong in this kind of very disastrous situation. Everywhere in Bayelsa is under the water. When we're landing, I told the cops, are you going to land in water? Or do we go back? I tell the governor, we've seen it. I appeal also to international communities in Nigeria, donor agencies and development agencies. We need help. Bayelsa at this stage needs support, and other states that are affected. But what I saw here is unimaginable. You can't compare it to every other place. I mean, that's why I appeal the president, the vice or senior government officials come personally to see it and start intervening immediately. They don't need to. That's why we have a country. Nations intervene everywhere in the world. Federal government should intervene now in Bayelsa, and other states are affected the same way Bayelsa is affected. Excellency, I don't think I have any other comment to make than to say to the people of Bayelsa, we're here to sympathize with those who are affected, with you, and encourage you as you go through this difficulty. And all of us, it is important that we remember those who have lost everything in prayers. In any way, I'm also appealing to Nigerians, in any way you can support or help. That is why we're Nigerians. That's why I said we cannot continue campaign in adversity. I told Mr. Val, I said, how can you come here and say you want to campaign? What are you going to tell them? So we'll wait till when at least federal government and everybody has been able to intervene here, then we can come back. And that's the way I say it. So, Excellency, please be encouraged in what you're doing. That's what differentiates leaders, times of difficulty like this. And I'm happy that all your team are here and everything, and encouraging. Be rest assured, you'll not be alone. It is not politics now. It is about the safety of the people. And we cannot play politics with it. Everybody, I'm going to speak to people, donor agencies, financial institutions, whatever you can do to help the state, they should do everything to help. And I assure you, I will be part of it. My own little way. They should set up a fund. We will be part of it. In any way we can support. Thank you for the great work. Thank you for what you're doing. I know my days as governor, I'll be shouting everywhere and saying nobody has helped me. That you're still coping shows the sterling qualities of your person, and I thank you, and I thank all who are supporting this. May God, in His infinite mercies, intervene on all the suffering people of Bayelsa and other people that are affected by this situation we find ourselves today in Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless you.
I feel comforted this morning. I feel like one who has a friend, who has a brother. And at your level, you are the first person to visit Bayelsa State. Both from within and outside the government and the federal government. And I keep saying the last time I checked, Bayelsa State is still one of the states, federating units of the federal government of Nigeria. I keep saying that at any time I have the opportunity to say so. This flood has been with us to this degree from last week, 1 full week over. We are going into the second week of flood having dispossessed the homes of everybody in Bayelsa. Flood is now the new landlord in Bayelsa State. We are losing properties on a daily basis. We are losing lives on a daily basis. Just this morning, I got another report of 2 children who died in a Keremo local government area. Towards the end of last week, there was an erosion in Obogoro where both the house and the occupants were taken. And up till this moment, the corpse of the lady is yet to be found. People are losing their lives on a daily basis. Properties are destroyed. Farmlands gone. And everything that contributes to the economic livelihood of this state is gone. Our economy is as good as gone. We have been trapped. The east-west road on both sides are broken into 2. And that's why you can't even come by land. You have to come by chopper. Because you can no longer get to Bayelsa State through Port Harcourt or via Delta State. And these are our 2 neighboring states that Bayelsa have access to. The only other side of Bayelsa is its maritime environment. Sometimes we are tempted to think if we are a state, maybe in Cameroon, because Cameroon is the nearest country to Bayelsa here in the maritime axis, and maybe in Guinea. Maybe if we were in Guinea or Cameroon, maybe we would have seen the presence of a federal officer with us here to commiserate with us for the loss of lives, properties, and all of that. Yes, we have received some hope from Mr. President, directing everybody and all agencies to give helping hand to our state. But we are yet to see one senior federal government officer come like the way you have come, to commiserate with us for the loss of lives and to empathize with us for the inhuman conditions of living that our people are subjected to as a result of this flood. But we're not here to count our woes. You have gone through by air and you have seen it firsthand for yourself. We still want to call on the federal government. Not only have we made these calls over and over, I have followed it up with formal letters that I have written to Mr. President. I've written to all other relevant ministries and agencies. I've written to the international community. I've written to every other private concern or corporate body, including major oil companies operating in our state, to come to our aid. As you rightly observed, this is beyond the capacity of Bayelsa State to handle. We agree that 33 states are affected, but here we are talking about the degree of impact. And the degree of impact in Bayelsa is beyond the bounds and leaps in any other state. And so on behalf of a very grateful state, Your Excellency, we welcome you to Bayelsa State. For me, this is more like a family visit. You were here and you were seated right here when you were aspiring to be the presidential candidate of our party, the People's Democratic Party. We received you, and when people talk about justice in this country, you remember even that day I made a statement. We are talking about justice and we are fighting injustice. Then let us take our minds back. People always look at the tripod. Nigeria is not a tripod. Yes, in the north, you have some dominant ethnic groups. In the southwest, you do have. In the southeast, you do have. In the south-south, you do have. Others have become president. So if we are talking about justice in this country, we all know in our hearts where it should go to. We all know. Even within our party, that campaign was on. And I'm sure those were some of the things that forced you out of our party. And to crown it all, you took our Anambra State candidate. So I view this more like a PDP family visiting Bayelsa State. Even though today you are no more with us, you are now the candidate of the Labour Party. But going through your credentials, you are one who has what it takes to vie for the highest office in this country. But politics is a very dynamic game which has forced you out. Otherwise, if it were in a military setup, you know we will not allow you to leave PDP. But thank God for democracy, thank God for politics. It's dynamic, so at every point in time, your freedom has to be given to you. We have missed you. You are now in another party. But I pray you still continue to cooperate with us the way you are doing, as a family, so that head or tail, we will still be there. There must be a change at that level. I'd like to thank you on behalf of this state. And this is what we are talking about. It is not that you will come and give Bayelsans all the food they need or all the money we need. Right now, we are even thinking beyond the flood, the post-flood management of reconstruction and rehabilitation. Our road infrastructure has been bastardly affected. Our schools affected. Our hospitals affected. Private homes affected. So it will run into billions and billions of naira, which the state government will not have the capacity to do, and that was why we cried out. And some ignorant people who don't understand will always want to play politics with it. I believe that it is out of that natural affection, that compassionate heart you have for humanity that has propelled you to visit Bayelsa State today. And we urge you to continue to have that affection and that human feelings beyond political parties. First and foremost, we are human beings. If one human being is suffering, no matter his ethnic coloration, religious coloration, you have to lend a helping hand. Before we talk about where we come from, what religion we belong to, and all of that. And that is what has been putting this country in quagmire. That this country cannot move forward. The way we have unbundled NNPC, we advocate that Nigeria should be unbundled. That we will have a federal government that will cooperate with the units and not staying in Abuja to say we want them. And because you want us, even when we are dying, we have not seen one person visit this state. If we unbundle it and we have a federal government and a state government that cooperates, and that we have our capacity to build our own dams, we will not wait for federal government. We will not wait for this type of disaster to happen to us. If we have our capacity to distill our rivers, River Non and River Focados, we will not wait for federal government.